Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be about me, Matthew Gonzalez. I come from an average sized family. I have two older brothers, a younger sister, and my parents. I was quite different from my family when I was growing up. Everybody had an outgoing personality, and I happened to be more quiet and reserved. But that didn't stop me from getting into fights with my siblings. Some of my hobbies are playing the guitar, riding bikes with my friends, and working out. I grew up in the city of San Diego, which is in Southern California, which is about 40 minutes away from the United States-Mexico border. San Diego is famous for a lot of things, like its many beaches, the San Diego Zoo, and for having perfect weather all year long. Even though I grew up in such a nice city, my parents weren't as lucky as me. They grew up in a small town in the middle of the desert called Brawley. My dad knew at a young age that there aren't any opportunities to become anything in a small town. So he thought in his early 20s, if he had the chance, he would move to San Diego and start his family there. The decision my dad made to pick up his life and find opportunities somewhere else always stuck with me. I thought that I wanted to do the same when it was my time. After graduating high school, I didn't know what I wanted to study or to do for a career. I always told myself that if I didn't know by the time I graduated, I would go to community college to figure it out. And I did just that. I went to a local community college called Grossmont College. When I entered, I chose many different classes to reach my goal, like music theory, economics, and marine biology. They were all really interesting classes, but I thought that I couldn't work in those fields and enjoy myself. It wasn't until I took a basic Japanese class that everything changed for me. I found something that was so interesting and so different from what I know that I couldn't ignore it. What's funny is that I only took the class because I never understood why my friends took it in high school. So when I finally got into it, I figured it out. The shows I watched as a kid, like Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and One Piece, all came from Japan, but I didn't know it. I only knew about Japan through school, and that's not a real representation of it. But when I started taking this class, what drew me in was not the shows, but the language, the writing system, and the culture. It was so fascinating to me that I just had to make it into a career somehow. Maybe around my third class in, I heard about the JET program, which is a program that lets you teach English in Japan. But at that time, I didn't think I had the skills to teach other people. But the requirements were so easy that I shouldn't eliminate the option just yet. So I thought I should work towards that goal for now, which brings me to San Jose State University. I didn't have a lot of options to choose from to go to university, since I was going to be a Japanese major. All I know is that I wanted to go to college far away from my hometown and experience what it's like to live on my own. So I did just that. San Jose is about 10 hours north from San Diego by car. I thought it would be perfect because I never lived anywhere else besides San Diego and I get to see many new things. I was only there for about a year and a half, but I got to see what it was like to live in Northern California, and I figured out very fast that it was not the place for me. But I stuck with it because I only had a couple of years left until I graduated. I continued to study Japanese and gained more and more interest. While I was there, I was thinking about the idea of studying abroad in Japan. I heard of many programs that I could apply for, and since I was getting closer to graduating, even if it delayed my graduation, I thought I should take any chance I get to go to Japan before I decide to dedicate my life to it. So I looked into all the programs that were available to me. The places I could have gone to were Tokyo, Okayama, and Fukuoka, and other places. But none of them seemed that interesting to me. They all look like big cities, and I intended to do something different because everybody wants to go to a big city, but nobody wants to go to a small city. And I thought that if I wanted to experience real Japan, I needed to go to an unknown location. And I got a lot of support from my teachers to do just that. So I found the program that I was looking for, and it was Kagoshima University. I thought it was funny that on the Kagoshima Exchange program page, there wasn't a lot of information available. All it talked about was the location of Kagoshima, Sakurajima, and Yakushima. Even though there wasn't a lot of information for me, I knew there had to be more to Kagoshima, so I applied and I got accepted. At that time, no one from San Jose University has gone to Kagoshima Exchange Program, so I would be the first one to attend it. Going to Kagoshima was one of or the best experiences in my life. I learned so much about Japan, other cultures, and about myself. I figured out there was so much about Kagoshima that must be learned by going there and experiencing it yourself. From the delicious food, the amazing onsens scattered around the prefecture, and the friendly people who live there. I loved it all. I made many friends with Kagoshima students and had plenty of opportunities to see real Japanese culture in Kagoshima. At times, it was hard to understand, but I had managed to quickly adapt to difficult situations and learn something new from it. While I had a very entertaining student life, I did go to Kagoshima with a purpose. I wanted to see if I could teach English. I didn't think I would have any opportunities to teach English while living in Japan, but I did. Kagoshima University offered a tutoring job to any English speaker at the global space, and I took it. At first, it was hard to know what I should do to help the students, but with help and support from my advisor Steve, I had found my way. While working that job, I found out that I liked it very much. I liked it when I could answer my students' questions, I liked it when they found my teaching to be fun, and I liked it when I could inspire them to continue learning English for fun or for school. It was very fulfilling for me, and I know now that this is something I could do in my future. So this brings me to the present. I returned to the US to continue my degree and graduate from San Jose University. I found my love of teaching and I'm going to pursue teaching as a career and apply to the JET program this fall to reach it. After living in Japan and experiencing everything, I want to go back and I want to learn many more things about the culture. So, that is my presentation about me, and thank you for watching.